the most powerful man in the world. Donald Trump, what will he do? When the internet wakes up to chaos, not from politics. Not from a speech. But from photographs of Melania. Bare. Flawless. Unapologetic, no context. No captions. Just pixels. Polished and lethal, one drop. And the world tilts, the studio gasps, the internet combusts, hashtags detonate, hashtag Melania uncovered, hashtag First Lady exposed, hashtag not safe for Oval Office, feeds choke on the flood of reposts, screenshots, grainy zoom-ins, comments come faster than breath, never thought I'd see this in my lifetime, thank you, internet gods. Is this empowerment or embarrassment? Asking for a country. Somewhere. Trump is either screaming or printing these as Christmas cards. Memes blossom like weeds in sunlight, Melania's pose merged with historical paintings, her silhouette photoshopped onto Mount Rushmore, a fake Vogue cover titled The Naked Truth, in coffee shops. Eyes widen over lattes, in offices. Productivity dives off a cliff, cable news pretends to hesitate, then runs the images with tasteful blurs, radio hosts sharpen their monologues, late-night writers skip dinner, and somewhere behind closed doors, Trump's fury boils over, like a storm. In a gold-plated teacup, he paces back and forth across the thick carpet of his private suite, curtains heavy enough to block sunlight. And reason, a phone buzzing. Another. And another, alert stacking like dominoes, his jaw clenched, the red tie, too tight, thumbs flexing. Ready to launch a digital war, but before the fire can settle, Reid goes live, and she
get a Democratic president, they could say, I don't like Melania Trump. She wasn't born here. She was born in Slovenia. She is a naturalized citizen. She's out of here. And by the way, Ivana Trump, the late Ivana Trump, who's buried in the golf course in New Jersey in Donald Trump's golf club, she wasn't an American citizen. And 3 of her children are Don Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. And maybe the next Democratic president says, you know what? I don't like the Trumps. And so we're going to denaturalize all of the Trump children whose mother was a foreigner at the time.
Has a sentence, sharp enough to cut through the noise, smooth. Deliberate. Almost amused, she talks about power. About citizenship, about how laws made in anger can circle back and bite their makers, and then she drops it, Melania, one name. Soft. Slow. Deliberate, the room inhales as one, a match. In a room filled with gas fumes, Trump hears it. Even miles away, in his mind. The syllables stretch like elastic, the instant that name leaves Joy's lips. He knows, the game has changed, this isn't politics anymore, it's personal, it's about him. His home, the flawless image he's built, brick by brick. Tweet by tweet. Cover by cover, and Joy just hurled a stone at the glass walls of his empire. Social media never waits for fact checks, it feasts on sensation, feeds ignite with hashtags, hashtag Melania bombshell. Hashtag Joy versus Trump. Hashtag First Lady secrets, memes multiply like fruit flies, Trump ducking under the Resolute desk, Melania boarding a plane marked one-way Slovenia. Joy cackling as the White House burns behind her, low effort. High voltage. Endlessly shareable, newsrooms smell blood, editors bark for headlines hotter than the hot take their packaging. The Daily Sting, Reid drops nuclear gossip on Melania. The Capitol chatter, Trump seethes over Live TV marriage bomb. The Satire Sentinel goes full front page, Trump marriage on shaky ground? Ex-president blames fake news which Joy, complete with Joy in a pointy hat. Broom pointed straight at Mar-a-Lago, Trump knows these people, knows their appetites, knows they love the taste of his anger. Even more than the truth, he grabs the phone, caps lock, on, ellipses, everywhere, Reid is the worst. Disgrace to TV, she attacked my wife. The beautiful and strong Melania. On live television, there will be consequences. Huge. Send, the base roars back instantly. Hearts. Likes. Angry faces. Tears of laughter, every reaction, gasoline on the blaze, an algorithmic bonfire. Warming every cold newsroom in America, meanwhile. Melania says nothing, her silence is not empty, it's a language of distance. Deflection, of floating just above the circus, that day. Cameras catch her in a white coat, sunglasses swallowing half her face, a half smile. Frozen like a question mark. Does she know something? Will she tell it? The internet squints. Reading tea leaves through tinted lenses. Is she leaving? Is she furious? Is she laughing? At all of this, nobody knows.
That that what I was doing had value. Had value. And in the end, I try not to cry.
Which means, everyone invents. Late-night comedians dive in like sharks in chummed water. Trump promised a wall. Looks like Melania might be first to climb over it. Greatest American comeback? Melania's immigration story. Wait till she's deported by her husband's policies. Laughter, applause, clips clipped. Captioned. Uploaded, a viral loop with ad revenue attached. Joy floats above the uproar. A queen who won a duel without lifting a sword. No apology, no retraction, no clarifying footnote. The clip lives on its own now. News loops. Reaction channels. Podcasts, each replay twists the knife a quarter turn deeper. Ratings spike, curiosity is currency. And her vault is open. The rumor, this secret, mutates with each telling. A penthouse argument. A shadow bank account, a passport tucked in a hollow book, or a double life across the ocean. Under a new name. Raising a second family with perfect cheekbones and colder smiles. Truth, irrelevant, this is theater. And theater feeds on applause. Not affidavits. Trump's allies flood the airwaves. Joy is a danger to democracy. She must be investigated. The outrage, a megaphone that only amplifies what they wish to bury. Each defense becomes its own headline, its own trending clip, its own centrifuge. Spinning the scandal faster, by nightfall. Tentacles everywhere, op-eds about sexism, think pieces on political marriages as public property, debates over privacy versus accountability. Conspiracy threads tying Joy's sentence to a shadowy cabal, enhanced with red string. Grainy screenshots. And confidence far exceeding evidence, and in the eye of the storm, Melania, still, silent, untouchable, a Mona Lisa. With sharper edges, street interviews bloom like weeds after rain. A MAGA hat, Joy should be ashamed. Melania is a saint. A cafe skeptic, she knew what she signed up for. A student with green hair, this is better than Netflix. 3 sentences. And 1,000 comments later, America feels thoroughly consulted. Cartoonists have a field day. Melania with a suitcase and a passport, one-way flight of fancy. Joy photobombing the wedding photo. A speech bubble, I object. To boring politics. TikTokers lip-sync Trump's angriest lines over tragic violins. Instagram crafts side-by-sides, Melania versus marble statues. Caption, same energy. Content becomes culture. Culture eats itself for breakfast, and asks for seconds. Trump scrolls like a man panning for gold in a mine he already owns. Rage. Thrill. Rage again. Every jab confirms he's still the axis of attention. He calls allies, floats a rally, a lawsuit, or simply more posts. Noise is power, silence is defeat. He will not be quiet. Before midnight. The manifesto, Joy Reid. The failed TV host. Crossed a line, she attacked Melania. And the American people will not forget. We will strike back. Bigger than ever. Screens light up in bedrooms. Bars. Airport lounges, supporters echo like a choir, critics duet with sarcasm. Joy's name remains soldered to his. On the trending list, exactly where she put it, the day ends, the storm doesn't. Melania retreats to her wing, a door closes with a soft, expensive click. In the hush. Perhaps a smile. Perhaps a sigh, no one knows. She will not tell. Mystery, the cruelest headline of them all. Night has fallen. But in Washington, no one is sleeping. 2 beasts, the Republican elephant, the Democratic donkey, both restless, pacing in their lairs. They can smell scandal in the air. Fresh, intoxicating. And they're hungry. The clip of Joy Reid uttering the name Melania is no longer just a soundbite, it's political ammunition. And it's already being loaded into the cannons on both sides, inside the Democratic war room. Coffee cups crowd the tables, laptops glow, voices hum with excitement. This is gold, one strategist says, tapping a pen like a drumbeat. Trump's hypocrisy, his personal drama, all gift-wrapped for us. Another adds, just let him talk. The more he talks, the deeper the hole gets. Across the city, the Republican response unit is in full alert. Phones buzz, voices cut the air like blades. we hit Joy hard, one advisor snaps. Full blitz, Fox, Newsmax, every conservative podcast that will have us. If we don't counter this tonight, we lose control of the narrative. And then the networks smell blood, CNN promotes the showdown, Joy versus Trump, Fox counters with defending the First Lady, every news anchor in town suddenly finds room in their schedule for one more special edition. On CNN, the split screen comes alive, left side, Joy Reid, back straight, eyes sharp, lips curling as if holding back a perfectly timed quip. Right side, Donald Trump, arms crossed, chin up, scanning the camera like he's staring down a jury. Ms. Reid, the anchor begins, the former president says you attacked his wife. What's your response? Joy tilts her head, a smile playing at the corner of her mouth. I simply pointed out that his own immigration policies could be applied to anyone. Even to people he claims to love. Trump leans forward, his voice sharp, that's a blatant lie. You went after Melania because you can't win against me. I went after your policies, Joy fires back. If you're using your wife as a shield, that's on you. The voices overlap. Rising. Colliding like storm fronts, the anchor tries to intervene, let's keep it, but is drowned out. On Twitter, I saw a comment that read, best TV brawl since reality shows were invented. I'm living for this chaos. On Facebook, someone posted, Joy Reid is a disgrace. Attacking another woman just to score political points, shameful. And right under that, another Facebook user replied, Melania hasn't done a single thing for this country except pose for photos in overpriced dresses. 3 platforms. 3 versions of reality. None matching, then, as if the fire wasn't hot enough. A leak appears, a gossip blog posts a headline in screaming caps, Melania Trump hides offshore account. The article claims, without evidence, that Melania keeps a secret European bank account just in case the political empire collapses. By noon, it's everywhere. On TikTok, I saw a video with the caption, when you say you love America but your money lives in Switzerland. It racks up millions of views. That night, Fox News rolls out the red carpet for Trump himself, lights warm, the set bathed in patriotic blues and reds. He sits across from the host, leaning in as if sharing a secret with the entire country. They're making up stories about Melania, he says, his tone part outrage, part wounded pride. She's been approached so many times by people trying to dig dirt on me. They offer money, they offer lies. And she's refused them all. Every single time. The host nods gravely. The cheerin' screams, Trump, they're coming after my family. Applause swells from the studio audience. MSNBC isn't about to stay quiet. Joy opens her show with a smirk. I'm flattered the former president is watching so closely. Maybe he should pay more attention to the skeletons in his own closet, and I'm not just talking politics. The camera zooms in just enough to catch the spark in her eye, or maybe, she adds, the gold-plated closets in his penthouse. Then she introduces a special report, grainy photos, anonymous voices, alleging Melania once met privately with a wealthy European businessman. Right before Trump launched his campaign, no dates. No proof. Just enough intrigue to ignite every newsroom in America, in a downtown coffee shop. I overheard a group huddled around a phone. One said, "Did you see Joy's segment last night? This thing is about to blow wide open." In a Florida diner, I saw a comment on a TV broadcast's Facebook page, "They're making this stuff up because they know they can't beat Trump fair and square." The divide is sharp. It's not just politics anymore, it's personal for the people watching. By midweek, debate shows are staging Trump versus Joy like heavyweight fights. CNN runs a split-screen rematch, Joy in the studio this time, Trump joining live via satellite. Within 2 minutes, it's chaos. Joy, you can't hide behind your wife every time someone challenges your record. Trump, you attacked Melania because you're jealous. Joy, your policies would have her deported. Trump, she loves this country more than you ever could. The screen becomes pure theater. Pundits freeze frames, circle facial expressions, debate who landed the blow. Then comes the photo leak. A tabloid publishes a set of old modeling shots of Melania, far more revealing than anything seen since her days in fashion. The headline? History repeats, Melania's past in the spotlight. On Instagram, I saw a comment under the post, "Classy then, classy now. They just can't handle a beautiful first lady." And right under it, another comment, "Imagine lecturing immigrants while your own wife posed for magazines you now call trash." The algorithms feast, images spread across timelines faster than fact checks can be typed. By Friday, the narrative is no longer controllable. Democrats demand full transparency from Trump about Melania's finances. Republicans accuse Democrats of harassment and character assassination. Newsrooms are in overdrive, every hour brings a new angle. Is Joy Reid out of line? Does Melania owe the public an explanation? Will this affect Trump's base? On YouTube, I saw a live stream chat fly by, Team Joy forever. Leave Melania alone. They're both milking this for views. And they are. Melania, for her part, stays silent. Paparazzi catch her stepping out of a black SUV. Sunglasses on, hair perfect, jaw set, the photo hits the front page everywhere, a Rorschach test in designer heels. To some, she's Grace under fire, to others, she's aloof, untouched, out of step with reality. By Sunday morning talk shows, it's no longer about what Joy said or what Melania did, it's about which side you're on. Every panel ends the same way. One pundit leans forward, looking into the camera. So, are you Team Joy? Or Team Melania? The question hangs in the air, not really a question at all, but a line in the sand. By Monday morning, the scandal isn't just a headline, it's the entire front page. Every paper, every feed, every podcast intro starts the same way: Joy Reid, Melania Trump. And the week that ate Washington alive, Republicans have dug trenches, Democrats have sharpened their talking points, and both are digging for fresh dirt before the other side finds more. Trump isn't hiding, if anything, he's doubling down. The Truth Tour is announced, swing states, rallies, arenas, each one designed to remind his base that he's still in the fight. And that Melania is under siege, in Florida. A sea of red hats sways to the chant, Melania. Melania. Trump takes the stage, soaking it in. They're not just coming after me, folks, he says, voice booming through the loudspeakers, they're coming after her. They're coming after you. The crowd roars, cameras catch a woman in the front row holding a homemade sign, my first lady, my hero. On MSNBC, Joy is unfazed, she's on every panel, every podcast, dropping one-liners like breadcrumbs for the internet to devour. If I'm living rent-free in Donald Trump's head, she says on late-night TV, I hope he at least redecorates. The studio audience erupts. Clips of the line are everywhere within an hour. Then, a curveball, a new leak hits, this time, an alleged audio recording of Melania at a private charity event. Speaking candidly about life in the White House, her voice is cool, deliberate. You learn to keep your thoughts to yourself. People only want a version of you that fits their story. The recording is ambiguous. It could be about the press, or about her husband, or both, but that's the beauty of it, ambiguity keeps the cycle spinning. On Twitter, I saw a comment that read, she's talking about Trump. You can hear it in her tone. And under the same post, another reply, no, she's talking about Joy Reid and the media. Stop twisting her words. The argument gets thousands of likes, on both sides. The Sunday shows become war zones. On CNN, a Democratic strategist says, this proves Melania feels trapped, Trump uses her as a political prop. On Fox, a Republican senator counters, this proves the left can't handle a strong, silent woman who refuses to play their game. Neither side budges, the Cheerin writers are running out of synonyms for controversy. Midweek, Trump and Joy are booked for the same town hall, separate segments, same stage, same night. Producers know exactly what they're doing, the tension is so thick you could slice it with a gold-plated butter knife. Trump goes first, he fields questions about policy, deflects to the attacks on Melania, insists she's the classiest first lady since Jackie O. He even gestures toward an empty seat in the front row, saying, she's watching from home, folks. Send her your love. Joy follows, she walks out smiling, shaking her head before she even reaches her chair. The man just spent 15 minutes talking about his wife's wardrobe and her bank account, and I'm the one who's out of line? The audience laughs, the internet clips it, and by morning it's the top video on YouTube. Then Melania moves, not literally, but strategically. She agrees to a rare appearance at a New York charity gala. The room glitters, chandeliers, champagne, camera flashes like lightning. She takes the mic, pauses for exactly 3 seconds, and says, I focus on my work. Not on people who seek attention. 9 words, cold, precise, deadly. Republicans call it a dagger aimed at Joy, Democrats say it's a dagger aimed at Trump. The truth, Melania just put herself back in the spotlight without answering a single question. By the weekend, nothing has been resolved, no scandals proven, no accusations retracted, and that's exactly how everyone likes it. On Instagram, I saw a comment under a photo of Melania leaving the gala, she's ice cold. I love it. Right under it, another, this is what happens when you marry for money, not love. Both get thousands of likes, the algorithm grins. By Sunday night, the question isn't what happened, it's what happens next. every cable show teases the next twist, even if they have no idea what it is. Every campaign email claims the fight is far from over. And the public, they're leaning forward, popcorn in hand, ready for Act 2, video outro, open-ending call to action. So, what do you think? Is this political theater? Or a personal war dressed up for the cameras? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button if you made it this far, and don't forget to subscribe, because if you think this week was wild, you won't believe what's coming next. Do you want me to now merge parts 1, 2, and 3 into a single continuous script, all in English, with natural AI pacing, so you can run the full 500-word narration in one go? Banda noi, toi thay fan 3 ko ve nu la rat la non. Hey bo sung them cho do 1.800 ky2. Va viet ky nim luon fan ket tuk video, chat gpt da noi, got it. I'll expand part 3 so it's closer to 1/800 words, and I'll fully flesh out the video ending so it's satisfying, memorable, and hooks the audience for the next episode. I'll keep the satirical, dramatic pacing for AI narration and weave in more scenes, extra media reactions, more public commentary, some behind-the-scenes campaign maneuvering, and lingering on Melania's ambiguous role. Part 3, the crescendo and the closing. Hook, by Monday morning. The scandal has grown legs, arms, and a full set of teeth. It's everywhere. Front pages, push notifications, op-eds, live streams. Every political podcast begins the same way. Joy Reid, Melania Trump, and the week that just won't die. Republicans dig their trenches, Democrats polish their talking points, every side is sure they're winning. Trump steps into the spotlight with his Truth Tour. Swing states first, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio, packed arenas, red hats as far as the eye can see. The crowd chants her name before he says a word. Melania. Melania. He raises a hand for silence, draws the paws out like a showman. They're coming after her, folks. But really, they're coming after you. It's not just applause now. It's a roar, flags wave, signs lift. One in the front row reads, "Our First Lady." Our honor. Meanwhile, Joy Reid is just as busy. She's the face of half the memes on Twitter, some worshipping her, some turning her into a comic book villain, and she's leaning in. On a podcast, she laughs, "If Donald Trump wants to make me the main character of his campaign, I should at least get royalties." That clip, by afternoon, it's on every cable channel, nestled between footage of Trump rallies and shots of Melania stepping out of SUVs. Then a new leak drops. This time it's an alleged email thread between Melania and a New York gallery owner, discussing private portrait sittings during the 2016 campaign. The insinuation? That she was planning an independent media project, one not involving the Trump brand, right as her husband was running for president. The emails could be fake, they could be misinterpreted, but they're explosive enough to earn a breaking banner. On Twitter, I saw a comment that read, "She was making her exit plan even before he won." Legendary. And on Facebook, under the same article, "This is fake news. If it's not, it's called having a life outside your husband, deal with it." The fight spills into every comment section in America. By Wednesday, the Sunday talk shows are booking guests just to yell at each other about the Melania question. One Republican strategist calls her the most elegant first lady since Jackie O. A Democratic commentator responds, "Jackie O didn't have a secret bank account in Zurich." Cue shouting, cue ratings. Midweek brings the stunt everyone saw coming. Trump and Joy are scheduled back-to-back for the same town hall, different segments, same stage, same cameras, same hyped-up crowd. Trump goes first, working the audience like a conductor with a brass band. He dodges policy questions, pivots to the attacks on Melania, and even reads a short letter from a supporter thanking her for bringing grace to the White House. Then Joy walks out. She shakes her head before she even sits down. The man just turned a town hall into a fashion tribute to his wife, and I'm the problem? The audience laughs. Clips of the line are trending by the next commercial break. And then Melania makes her move, not with a tell-all interview. Not with a press conference. She appears at a New York charity gala, dripping in diamonds, bathed in flashbulbs. She takes the mic, pauses long enough for the room to still, then says, "I focus on my work, not on people who seek attention." 9 words, sharp as glass, delivered like a final verdict. Republicans claim it's a dagger aimed at Joy, Democrats whisper it's aimed at Trump himself. The media? They spin it both ways. Why waste a perfectly good ambiguity? By Friday night, nothing has been resolved, and no one really wants it to be. In politics, uncertainty is oxygen, everyone's still breathing it in. On Instagram, under a photo of Melania leaving the gala, I saw, "She's ice cold, and I'm obsessed." Right below it, this is what happens when you marry a brand instead of a person. 2 comments. 2 worlds. In a DC conference room, a Democratic aide leans over a map of swing states. Keep this story alive 2 more weeks, we can hit suburban women and independent voters. In a mirrored conference room across town, a Republican operative flips through poll numbers, she's polling higher than he is. Use her image in the next ads, turn her into the campaign's emotional core. Both sides leave the room thinking they're geniuses. So here we are, 2 weeks of headlines, hundreds of hours of TV, millions of tweets, posts, TikToks, podcasts, and what do we actually know? Not much, but we've all picked a side, haven't we? Team Joy. Team Melania. Team Burn It All Down. Now it's your turn, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm talking theories, hot takes, conspiracy charts if you've got them, smash that like button if you survived this roller coaster, and for the love of ratings, hit subscribe, because if you thought this week was wild, wait until you see what happens when the next leak drops. I'll see you in the next one.